Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and start. Um, I did want to talk about scavenger hunt. So Ed was a little bit bummed that only 6 people participated, which is kind of a bummer. I know it's hard to get people to participate. Even Judge's Corner, it's I haven't been getting a lot of images just sent to me, like we were, beginning of the year or even last year. It seemed like we were really busy and we are getting really big groups. So I don't know what's happened with everybody. Um, I've been trying to pick out images that I see in competition and try and talk about those or come up with themes to talk about. So tonight we're gonna have a couple few things because I did get some stuff that people wanted me to talk about. And then I'm gonna show some of the scavenger hunt images from me and Doreen, and we can kind of compare and see the backstories and how because we both I know Doreen shot all hers at the last minute too the same day. So so it might be kind of fun just to talk about how we got them and where we went and all that kind of stuff. Um, so I'm going to share my screen, share, and first of all, I want to go here because I have this image in two forms. This is the original, and then this is kind of the edited, cleaned up. The reason I wanted to talk about it and it was sent to me to talk about is because I think I was the low scoring judge on this, and I had talked about how it was I felt like it was too edited, not in the editing process, but more or less in the sharpening process, and it kind of took away from me. I felt like the flowers were like they're so edited that they're almost kind of grainy, um, and that's kind of what we're talking about. So Linda did send this to me, but I also have right here is
Yeah.
her TIFF file. So I said, send me the TIFF file so I can look at it and you know judges aren't always completely right. We try to be. We try to know what we're talking about, and sometimes we get off track a little bit. But here's her define. So she did sharpen it, and I don't think this define did a lot to it. I don't see any changes when I turn it off. But the Color Effects Pro 5, I see a lot of change. And I think it's adding a little bit of so some of these effects that you put in, they also have the right side of tools, and usually you can adjust all those in and out. This one here looks like it has some HDR in it, just by the way it's lightening the shadows and darkening the highlights a little bit. Um, and it also, when it does that, it's also adding texture and grain. So even if it's not a sharpening tool, it's kind of like going from a RAW to a JPEG. It already automatically sharpens a lot. And I think for me as the judge, when I was looking at it, I think that's kind of what I was seeing the difference. I actually like this a little bit better without that on there, the deeper, richer grass instead of when it fills the shadows it kind of takes away from the trees and even the flowers. I think the purples look deeper here than they do with the effect applied to them. So I did want to talk about that a little bit. Does anybody want to comment on that?
Show me both again.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Show both again.
um so this is without her effects pro, and this is with the effects pro.
Hmm.
Without and with.
Okay.
I like it better without as well.
And then she did do define, which I think I don't see it doing anything, which is good. That's how it should be. I mean, when you do sharpen your image, you only want to sharpen it just a little bit. You don't want to over sharpen it. And truly, I see a lot of that in competition lately. Some of I don't know who's on here, but I know some of the insect photos I've seen that a lot on, and some of the flowers I've seen it a little bit too much on. Eh, some of the pictorial stuff, but I think people just get, if it's just a click and it does what it wants, sometimes that's not always the best. I know, the AI is built into almost all these applications we have now, and it tries to, either pick out the skin and soften the skin or pick out the details in the landscape and sharpen the landscape. And sometimes it just goes a little bit over. So we still have to maintain as much control. But I think the colors, the deeper colors here are a lot better on this image. Okay, I'm going to close that. No savey. This is, she was just sending me the main image she shot, and then when she cleaned it up and cropped it in. I think that's good because I think getting rid of these shadows in the foreground is definitely, a plus for this image. Okay, getting rid of that. Another image that I had asked for is this one here. I'm going to go back real quick just to look at my zoom. Okay. I don't know if the maker made it on here or not, so I don't see him. Anyway, so this one here, Judges Wise, I think this got a 7, 8, 9. Oddly enough, I thought I was the 8 and somebody else gave it a 9, but I didn't comment on this, and somebody else commented and said they gave it the 8. So maybe, you know, I messed up with my thumbs or they messed up with their thumbs, but I think the biggest struggle here is like if we just crop this right across the bottom, this is a remarkable image up here. And I think that's why, I was even in the 8 in the advanced category, is because this top part is great. If we could just crop that. So just a cropping thing wouldn't be a big deal. I love the village. I love the reflections. It's just that white in the bottom. And truly to me, it looks like we've either darkened the sky or we've replaced the sky, which whatever category this was, it, didn't matter, but darkened or replaced the sky, but we didn't do it in that bottom portion. If we could have copied what was on the top and flipped it over and put it in the bottom of that water part, I think that would have been okay to keep all this information in. But it's just that white spot that took away. And also the judge that was the 7 commented on that, and that's why, her score reflected what it was. So
I think at this time, I would have asked the maker to use a polarizer. I feel that anytime you're near water, a polarizer really helps to maybe get rid of the glare and give you more depth in your reflections.
yeah.
I remember the comments about the water reflection. I wasn't all that pleased with that extra set of the structure of the wall there on the left side. I like the building on the right, the boats, the greenery, but that chunk
Right.
of extra wall on the left, I didn't feel added to it. Not quite sure how you can get rid of that, maybe change your positioning a little bit. So, because you still want that fourth or third boat down there.
Right. So you're saying maybe like cut right through here
Yeah,
and right through there and just kind
yep.
of keep it that square format and just cut in a little bit. I think that's a good idea, Ron.
Yep.
That could be nice. Very cool. Okay. So truly, that was the 2 main images that I received today. But then we also, let me see, let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Then we also have, where am I? Oh, oh, I lost my other thing there. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. So I gotta go. All right, I can't get in there, so I'm gonna have to stop sharing for 1 second. Hello, everybody. I can see everybody's face again. All right, I gotta find. Oh, because I opened it through an email. There we go. So let's see if I can go back and share the screen and still show this. Share screen. There we go. So Craig sent me this, and basically Craig was like, hey, if you need some images, pick something out of here and we can talk about it. And I thought, okay, yeah, I'll go through there. And then I kind of started going through here. And what I wanted to talk about is when we go on a shoot, you know, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 is 48, 49, 50. So 50, this is 51 images. And I bet Craig shot at least 53 images while he was at this game, right, Craig?
Yes, so a bit more than that. Yes.
How many images do you think you shot?
Probably 12 or 1300.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So when I worked NASCAR, and I know some of you people have always heard me talk about NASCAR, but when I worked NASCAR, I would have a shot list. So I don't know if Craig works with anybody and they're like, hey, we need you to shoot the quarterback or we need you to shoot, the ball flying in the air, or something like that. But I would have a shot list from like 10 different agencies that would tell me I need a picture of Wiley X's on 7 drivers, So the drivers I'm shooting, I have to get their Wiley X sunglasses. I would have to have crowd shots. I would have to have shots from turn 2 and turn 4 of their cars. I would have to have shots. Anyway, I would shoot about 3 to 5,000 images a day. And if it was a Xfinity and a truck race and the NASCAR Cup race, then I would shoot anywhere from about 15,000 to 20,000 images for the week.
Whoa.
And then you get to this, which is the hard part. It's hard to narrow it down to this. And that's why I told Craig, I said, I would rather just talk about your whole gallery, because if you look through here, there's a lot of action going on and there's a great story. It kind of brings me to PSA, since we've talked about PSA so much. PSA does portfolio entries where, probably couldn't enter 53 images, but you could enter 12 or 15 as a portfolio. And this would be a winning portfolio for PSA because you've got, some crowd stuff, you've got the whole team stuff, you've got some action stuff, and that makes a good shoot. So, and that's why I wanted to show all these, because Craig's there for a while and he's not just shooting the ball. Because I've taken people out to like the Aviator games and they sit there and they shoot the batter, they shoot the batter, and they shoot the batter. And I can remember taking presidents out there like Darrell when he was first president, and that's what he would shoot, the batter, the batter, the batter. So here he had another 1,000 images of everybody batting, but he's evolved, and gets other stuff now, guys in the field. He gets people in the, crowds and some of the funny people with signs and stuff like that, which I love that sign with the Darth Vader, where to go right here. See if I can open that without crashing this whole thing. Didn't get too big, but yeah, so I love that. UNLV is your father. UNLV is your father. But stuff like that is great. And again, going back to NASCAR, I would shoot all these drivers, all this stuff, and I had to do it for certain agencies. So they'd be happy with what they got. But then in just the general stuff that I would get printed, I would get more of this kind of stuff printed than, this stuff, and even crowd stuff or cheerleaders, or, when we shoot the Grand Prix, you shoot the girls with they call them the umbrella girls. I'd get more of that stuff printed than I would get of the car or the actual action, because like in Las Vegas, you would have 120 photographers out there on a race day. And literally 120 guys are trying to shoot this. But when you turn around, there's only a handful of guys shooting this, and maybe only 2 or 3 guys shooting this kind of stuff, this UNLV helmet. Great shot. I love that. You know, I'm not crazy about the white background with that. I think I would have felt better if it was all in green, but you know what? Maybe not. If I saw it all in green, I might say, hey, it'd been great if there was something that went through the back to kind of separate the grass. So, but overall, great shot. I think some of the stuff in here is amazing. Anybody like to talk about that? Comments, discussions?
So when you do a portfolio, you'd have a little bit of cheerleader, a little bit of crowd, a little bit of action. And it would tell the whole complete story in 12 to 15 shots. And
Absolutely.
that would be your story.
Yes, absolutely. There's so there's a couple different things because there's a lot of divisions of PSA, and I haven't even done a lot of them that are out there. But there's like travel stories. They're the same way. Travel stories, um, they have short stories and they have long ones. And the long ones can be like something like this, 50 pictures. And they pick the top three, and those three used to play at the photo festival. They would show the top three winners at the photo festival. I don't know if they still do that, again, because most of the last 10 years I've been doing it, I'm stuck with doing models and teaching and stuff like that. So I didn't get to see a lot of the other stuff going on or a lot of the other speakers all the time. But there's photo travel that is like this. There's a portfolio, which can be anything. I saw one that was actually pretty interesting. I saw a portfolio presentation one time, and it was on the cranberry fields and harvesting the cranberries. So, and they did a good job from shooting the plants in the beginning all the way to them getting squished to make it cranberry juice. So, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This right here is a great portfolio for that entry. But there's photojournalism has some little short stories. Photo travel has some short portfolios, and they have the long presentations. And then I know there's portfolios like this. I just don't know the counts and the amounts and all that. And I haven't seen them in a while. So, but we could find out more because that's what PSA is there for.
Jerome, could you pull
Yes.
up 7513? It's about 2/3 of the way down in the third position.
75,
7513,
13,
there.
right there.
I love that because you've got the player, you've got the defense, and you have the ref. I think I was trying to decide if he was really interested or if he was kind of staring off into space. You've got three actors there, one with the football, the defender and the attacker, and then the ref.
This meeting is being recorded.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. It's good. Uh-oh. Mary, can you try and mute?
Ken, what?
Oh, whoever got it, somebody got
Yeah, whoever, I don't know who it is.
it.
I
Okay.
don't have their phone number because I did a search to see who the phone number belonged to.
Oh, is that what was making the noise?
Yeah, the phone one was doing it.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's okay. They got it. They got it fixed. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's say you go out and shoot all this stuff. I was going to open a couple like this where we know this isn't going to be a great image on its own, but I think it's still a good image for this portfolio story. Maybe if we had this whole guy, it would have been great. Or maybe if you crop him where it's just the top of him, you don't even see these guys down here. We know when we're in the mood of the action, we know this is kind of important to us, but when we didn't capture, the whole conglomerate of these two guys, it kind of takes away from him because you want to look down there and go, what? I see 2 foots and a butt. And it just takes away from that part. But no, overall, I think everything is great. Like this, we just had outside judge who hated this. He said, I hate when people cut feet off. But it's sports, and sometimes it's hard. It's hard to shoot wider. Sometimes you have I don't know what Craig shoots with. I shoot with a 400 and I have a 500 that aren't zooms. So a lot of times you have to deal with this, and I would have to go in and crop it a little bit more if it was something that was going to be turned into the client or something like that. But in a portfolio review, that's not going to matter as much because what matters more is that you show a lot of parts of the story. So that's one thing to consider. And we see this a lot. Actually, a good example is we had Matt Bolt and we had Alan Smith, both photographers that came out. Matt did a lot of golf more than anything. And then Alan Smith did a little bit more NASCAR and some baseball and stuff. But the same thing, when you're putting a presentation together, I mean, you don't always have, 527s to put in your presentation, but you've got a lot of, blue ribbons that were great images that make the presentation extraordinary. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Anything else? Anybody else want to talk about some football stuff here? Because this is great. Thank you, Craig, for sharing this.
All right. Good. Thank you.
Very cool. Okay. I am going to, if I can get up there and click out of that one. Don't want to click out of that one. And then Doreen.
Doreen, is that your eyeball?
No, that's not mine. That's Ken's eyeball.
So what I'm going to do is, Doreen,
He's
do
got
you
a
have a
sunflower
story?
in his eye.
I see that. Do you have a story on this or anything to talk about it?
Yes,
Doreen?
well, I did this on Sunday, right? Sunday morning. And, we're talking about eyes and what we're gonna do. And so, I had him sit down in several different places in the house, even outside. And we have this one window overhead, which kind of gives them a little bit more of a catch light.
Yeah.
And it was hard to take a photo like this because he's moving and he needs to absolutely be still so I could get a clear shot. And, this is the best I could.
Okay, so you ready for the category on this scavenger hunt was eye or eyes.
Right.
Okay, so you ready for mine?
Uh-huh. Oh, you're doing a sentimental value here.
Oh,
That is so cute.
So this was going to be my whimsical, but I didn't get anything else done for the eyes, so I did have an idea, but this is what I got to.
So how did you happen to have those googly eyes?
I went to Michael's and bought them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so second one is this house of worship.
Yes.
Okay.
So I had a commitment on Saturday, family commitment. My granddaughter made her first Holy Communion. And so it was fitting to be in a place of worship. And there was a stained glass window up above. And so I shot that. And I saw that the light reflected along the beam, which gave it some light. Because one of the things about the scavenger hunt was also thinking about creativity as well.
Right.
So this is my house of worship or place of worship.
I like it. I like the colors.
Wow.
and there's no editing allowed on any of these, right?
None.
No,
None.
these were all shot in camera, and then we handed Ed our cards.
So you did JPEGs, I guess, so that you would have
Yes.
good
Yeah.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah, I shot JPEG and RAW, and then I just tried to delete all the RAWs off so that there was actually a couple, so he had to select it out of the way. At least on mine. Okay, so house of worship. Let me find my house of worship is right here. Does anybody know where that is?
No, where is that?
That's the Little Chapel of the West.
Oh, okay.
It's right
Oh.
across the street from Mandalay Bay.
I didn't know I had all those trees around it.
It almost had too many trees. I was like, holy crap, it's hard to get in because they have a fence and the fence is not allowed on property, blah, blah, blah. And so I had to shoot over the fence and kind of walk around. So, and I just changed my styles inside the camera. So I shot this in monochrome inside the camera. The same with the other one.
That's a good option when you can't do any editing.
Yes. Okay, so let's go back to Doreen. I can't even say that word, and I know Ed can't say it either, so I'm guessing Linda spelled it for him on the paper.
Where is this, Linda, Doreen?
This is at Tule Springs at the fossil bed. It's a huge sculpture, and apparently it's made from all the debris that they gathered to clean up in that area.
Huh.
And the interesting part of this is that it was after hours. They close at 5, so it was about 5:30 on Saturday evening. And I knew I wanted to take this photo. I knew I wanted to put it in black and white. So yes, I changed my style settings to monochrome. Since it was after closing hours, I shot this through a fence. And then the ranger saw that what I was doing. So she came out and investigated and said, "What are you doing?" So I had to explain to her that I was from the Nevada Camera Club, and we were on a scavenger hunt, and one of the items was an elephant or something with a long nose. So she spent a couple of 10, 15 minutes with me as I was taking this photo. So I was under pressure because I've got the rangers standing there going like, okay, let's make sure you're not doing anything wrong. So that's my photo.
Hmm.
Okay. And so that's what I have for elephant. So I
Is
bought,
that a toy elephant?
yeah, it's a toy, and I just did a little light behind it. I had it all the way up so that it was just a white background, and I thought that was like too much white, so I moved the light back and just made sure the elephant stayed within the brightness.
It's pretty creative.
Hmm.
It's pretty creative.
Was that your cell phone?
No, it's actually just it's a little small rig light.
Small rig, yeah.
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 And originally I did it in an amber, and I shot a couple pictures and I didn't like the amber, so then I went back to the styles and turned it into a black and white again. I thought it was going to look a little more like a sunset, but it didn't. I like this. This thing is cool. I've never seen that.
No, oh, you got to see it in person. And it's really amazing. And it was kind of cool because we did have some clouds in the background, which helped a little bit.
Right.
Otherwise, it would have been just a plain sky.
Cool. So sport or sports.
Yep.
I'm
So-
guessing is that Ken's? Does Ken golf?
No, I do. Well,
Oh,
both of us, but
it's
that's
yours.
my golf set.
It is a pink ball, huh?
Yes, I put the pink ball there because my golf clubs are they have this pink grip on there as well, pink design grip. So the pink ball is there. I live fairly close to Ollanta Golf Course. So we went out to the putting green. I had an idea of what I wanted. And I said, let's take my golf clubs. And here we are.
Very cool. I like it. I had some ideas, but my day was running short, so this is all I did for sport.
Well, it gets the point across.
Yeah.
Very, very simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have done that in infrared.
Well, I don't have an infrared setting on my camera, do I?
Well, you could have put an infrared filter over it.
Yeah. Next time
Yep.
when my truck's running. Okay, Doreen, is this whimsical?
This is whimsical.
Okay.
So the story behind this is I went to Lowe's hardware store. I walked in with my camera gear and I talked to one of the salespeople on the floor and said, I've got this camera gear. I'm on the scavenger hunt. Do you mind if I go and rearrange some flowers? And I was actually looking for a gnome, but I found this. So in the garden section, in the nursery section, I found this statue, and there were pots of colorful flowers. Put this guy in the middle, had to compose, and this is my whimsical. So I was at Lowe's doing this.
I like it. I like the color too.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like it. So my whimsical, I wouldn't call this whimsical, but I would just call it kind of funny.
Oh, that's cute. With the dog behind, that's really funny.
It is. It
So-
tells a story.
Yeah, it's just in my front yard. Toy Story guys. And I tried to place them so they're all kind of like frantic, and the dog is right behind them. My dog is really stressed that we have a new baby, so he's not into doing pictures. He's not eating, he's not doing anything. So usually he would kind of act like I want him to, but he's just been kind of crazy because I wanted him standing up over him, kind of looking down, but I literally could not get him to do that. So I had to have him sit down. And then he's panting up a storm. It wasn't really hot, but
Is that Josh behind him?
yeah, that's Josh holding him on the leash.
Gotcha.
I kind of like the dinosaur. The dinosaur looks like it's eating
He's gonna bite his
Dog's
tongue.
Uh,
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I just thought that was fun to kind of talk about these. Show this
Is that
stuff.
all of them?
Well, there's
There was red. Wasn't there red?
yeah, this is my graffiti.
Okay. Where's that at?
This is on the side of the tattoo parlor in the Olympic Gardens parking lot. I forget what else is there. The pizza place is there, a
Down on
tattoo shop.
Charleston?
It's on Main Street. Well,
Oh, okay.
it's actually it's Las Vegas Boulevard where it starts to separate
Split?
into Main.
Yes, I know where you're at. Yeah,
Yeah. So right off of Wyoming.
right.
This is my flag. It's actually just a mural painted on the side of the adult store on Las Vegas Boulevard.
And Doreen's was where?
Mine was
I didn't see hers.
yeah, mine was over, they're talking about the Facebook. Mine was over at the Arts District.
Oh, okay.
This is my Simply Red. Because when I read Simply Red, the first thing I thought was a stop sign. So I said, ah. But you know what the hardest part of this shot was? Trying to find a stop sign without a sticker or graffiti on it.
Oh,
this town.
wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
This, I think it's this one is my traffic. So I figured I had bicycle traffic, the bus lane traffic, the duck traffic, and the car traffic.
That's cute with the duck sign. That's funny. Where is that they have the duck sign like that?
It's right around Lake Las Vegas on Sahara.
Where they have those little ponds up there.
Yeah. I mean, everybody drives like 65 on Sahara. I can't imagine how a duck would get across the road. This was
repeating patterns.
repeating or repetitive, I think he called it, repetitive.
Yeah.
And this is just a building. It's actually the Wynn office building right next to the ballpark because I shot both of these simultaneously. And then this is a reflection in the window
Gotcha.
Oh,
of
that's your
me
selfie?
and my
Selfie.
driver. Yeah,
Yep.
my selfie.
That's
Good
a
job.
reflection, huh? Wow.
Yep. It's an office building. So this right here is like the little barrier between the top glass and the bottom glass.
Mm.
That's it. That's all my images.
How fun.
It really was. It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that not more people were involved in it because it was challenging, but it was fun. It was interesting to think outside the box. Like I said, you're going into Lowe's and you're going like, I'm just here to take photos. Is this okay?
Is that where you took your red picture? Your
Oh,
red?
that was in the backyard.
Okay.
I have my repetitive is barrel cactuses,
Right.
and that was taken at Lowe's as well. Yeah. So just thinking outside the box is pretty interesting.
Well, it looks really fun. It's just a bad weekend with Mother's Day stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I told Ed. I think it's just the weekend that we chose that was the bad.
Yeah, I
bad
just I
timing.
had too much going on, so I just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you didn't show your statue. Did you have a statue?
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mine was in Caesar's Palace. Mine was at the fountain there at Caesar's.
It
The
said
forum.
statue or monument. Mine is I did the. I gotta share again. Hold on a second.
It seems like you guys covered a lot of territory around the city. If you went down to the Strip and you went down to Arts District and you went up to the Tule Springs, that's a lot of.
Well,
The
I
ballpark.
live
Yeah.
close to Tule Springs and I live close to Ollanta Golf Course. Lowe's is just around the corner, so I didn't do a lot of traveling.
Mm.
The last minute was down at the Strip, is trying to get photos, and I had foot traffic as traffic, so it was pedestrians going across the street near Caesar's. So
Mm.
it's pretty much stayed in one place, but
So
tried
you
to,
could do several in one area then.
yeah.
So I was pinball Hall of Fame. My
Oh,
my
okay.
my statue monument, whatever.
You did a lot of yours in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We need to do it again.
Well, it's like that's what I like mostly about competition is the challenges. Lately, the challenges have been hard for me because I don't have time to go out and do what I think of. I just don't have time to go do it. I think of things, but this was kind of the same way. It's like I had other ideas. I actually took the whole list and I wrote down all the ideas I had, but I didn't do anything done Saturday. So then I had to do it all Sunday, and all hell broke loose. So you kind of, you know stretch your brain a little bit from there. But yeah, I like stuff like that. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
And most of those pictures aren't great. I probably wouldn't put any of those in regular competition, but for the purpose of what we were doing, it's a lot of fun.
But it would be fun to show a little program before the meeting or something of the results of it.
I think, well, since there's only 6 people, I think Ed should show them all.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Do a comparison of the 6 and what each one come up with in all the 12 categories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
it'd be
think
fun.
so. I
Yeah.
think so as well.
It's a good exercise. The fact that you're not going to be doing any editing or anything, it's just a good exercise to
Right.
get right in camera, which you kind of get away from when you know that you're going to be editing.
And you look at your image and you take the techniques that you learn just in regular photography, and you take those techniques and you look around the frame, making sure that something's not, sticking into your frame. Also, like Ken's eye, it was a little bit too wide. And you have cropping capability. Well, in the R5, I have cropping capability in camera. So I went in and changed the photo and cropped it to where I thought would be a good place for it.
Oh,
In
yeah.
camera. Yep. So that's where I made the adjustment there. And like Jerome said, you had your different styles, your landscape, portrait, standard, monochrome, using all of those styles to be able to help you become more creative in what you're doing. I mean, there's a lot you can do in camera, but it was challenging because you're going like, maybe I can do this in post-processing. No, you
Nope.
No, you can't. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I forget I have that stuff in camera because I just don't think to use it.
Yeah.
Wow. Very good. Does anybody else have anything?
Can I just ask, whoever is the Zoom user that's showing on the screen, can they identify themselves so that I can make a list of who's online?
You see, my name is Terry.
Yeah, I
Yes.
see you, that, the only one I haven't identified is the phone number. And then this one that came in as a Zoom user, and I don't know who that is.
Okay, this is Stephanie Phillips, and mine is coming up as my
Yeah,
email address.
Yeah, I got that. I got
Okay.
yours. Yep. But there's one down at the bottom, at least on my screen, because I'm on my iPad, that just came in on the bottom as Zoom user. ZU. Zoom user.
Zoom user. Do
Uh-huh.
you mind identifying yourself? What's your name?
There isn't even a microphone identified by him.
No, there's nothing. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Hmm.
And who's on the phone call? Do we know who that person is?
Yeah, they're not in my, because I did a search on that phone number and they're not in my phone contact list. So I can probably do that on the MMR and find out who it is. Give them credit.
Okay. Good.
Very good.
Okay.
It's
Well,
fun.
thank you everybody for coming, hanging out.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Especially because we're doing this a little
Thank
bit
you.
later, but
Thanks,
had a good
Jerome.
time. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a
Good
good
night.
evening, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.